Hello everyone, Godre here, and this is my money brief. On today's money brief, I want to talk about taxes. Yeah, it's not something that I often talk about on money brief, but I think that it is important to address some of the news we've been hearing lately. You know, I mean, suggesting that the government is mulling increasing taxes from 7.5% to 10% VAT, actually value added tax, which we pay, for nearly, everyday goods and services that we consume in this country. First of all, the government has come out to deny it, that they're not increasing taxes from 7.5% to 10%. Of course, I guess that's because of a lot of the outcry out there that people are going through a lot of stuff. So nobody expects that the government will now come and impose new taxes on Nigerians. But let's step back a bit and try and find out where this came from. So this news came from the Presidential Tax Advisory Committee headed by Taiwo. And what he had said was that there were plans to increase taxes for non-essential good items and then reduce taxes or even eliminate taxes completely for essential items like food. And it kind of balances out. And I think their plan is they want, poor people who pay taxes indirectly in Nigeria to reduce the amount of taxes they pay or don't even pay at all, while taxes shifts more to the rich or maybe the upper middle class. And they think that by doing that, they probably would be able to still collect as much taxes as they have been collecting, while also ensuring that a lot of poor people don't have to pay taxes. So that's the plan that the government has, and the committee is proposing. And I think if you notice the method of the committee, they tend to put things out there first and sort of get some feedback and hear how Nigerians are reacting to it, and then maybe they go back and tweak again and then perhaps land on something. It's not easy doing their job, so I perfectly understand that very much. But here's the thing. I do believe the way the government is today and where the position they are in today in terms of their fiscal status, taxes would likely be a major issue next year. It might not be so much of an issue this year, but I think it's going to be a major issue next year because the government is in a precarious situation based on its revenues. We're still not collecting as much revenues compared to expenses. Very much so. I did read in the news that a lot of the taxes that we collect as a country has gone up. I think I saw some news on Nairametrics that taxes, for example, company income tax was up by 150% in the second quarter of 2024. VAT earnings has also doubled in 7 months, and so we're seeing that more taxes are being collected, albeit exchange rate has an impact on that. But it's still not enough to cover government expenses. Of course, there's also the other part of subsidy removal that has been done, which also gives government a bit more revenue buffer. But of course, that is still not enough for the government. So I do think that at some point next year, you're going to see either tax increases in some aspects of taxes that we pay, or there might be new legislation for new kind of taxes. This year was the windfall tax, which was imposed on banks because they made a lot of money from FX revaluation gains or FX gains. And so you could see a bit more creative taxes in that form for businesses, particularly businesses. And then even if there are no taxes, expect that companies that maybe do not pay enough taxes or don't pay taxes at all are likely going to have to pay more taxes next year. Or pay taxes next year, maybe not more taxes, pay taxes next year. So if you're one of those companies where maybe you don't pay taxes or you found ways to evade taxes or avoid taxes, it's not going to be easy next year because the government is likely going to step up on their tax collection. And the new guy at FIRS is quite aggressive at collecting taxes. and very savvy at using technology to collect those taxes. So expect that you would have to pay some more taxes next year if you're even paying, and then if you're not paying at all, expect to pay taxes next year. That's for corporates. And for corporates that are declaring massive profits, be careful how you make so much noise about it, though, because I think that the way the government is looking at things, if you make profit from this economic hardship or transformation in quote that we're going through, this impasse, it's very likely that the government want to claw back some of that from you as well, because you can't be making superficial profits when the rest of Nigeria is going through hardship. And it kind of looks like you're the one profiting from that. And so expect to see more taxes as well, and then have that, maybe go around, have the government use that to fund a lot of stuff. So there are going to be taxes, again, like I mentioned, expect that. Then, of course, for regular Nigerians, I do see room for some kind of taxes as well. You've seen all these electronic money transfer taxes and all that. There are probably other areas that they could also come at you or at us for taxes that you might not feel it, but it could happen. Now, make no mistakes about it. The government wants taxes because that's essentially how you run the government, right? Government only works with taxes, and there's a lot of debt that we're already accumulating. Our debt levels is slightly over 100 trillion, or likely going to hit over 100 trillion by the end of the year. So 100 trillion naira that is. So I do expect that you have to find a way to repay some of those loans. And remember that some of these loans are at very high interest rates, and the way you can pay them is through taxes. So it's either you increase taxes or you're more aggressive with taxes. So a lot of governments, FG and states, are going to be more aggressive with taxes, even at the local government level as well. With this autonomy that they have now, everybody is going to be aggressive with taxes. So the best thing now is, I'll suggest, is for a lot of businesses locally to try as much as possible to improve their tax administration game. So you have to really get your accountants to better understand how your taxes are being put together. You need to understand, how to, properly dimension your expenses and your revenue, and as much as possible. I also suggest that you pay taxes every month rather than wait till the end of the year, so that even when the tax guys come and they maybe give you a different assessment, then what you have to pay is not that much. If you're not paying taxes for maybe, for example, personal income tax for your staff, you might want to start doing that because when they come at you, it might be a problem as well. And you also have to start to be a bit more creative about tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is not a crime. Tax evasion is a crime. So tax avoidance is trying to be more efficient with your, taxation in such a way that you don't have to pay as much taxes, as maybe you may have paid if you're not tax efficient. So these are some of the things that we need to start to consider now, because as we go into 2025, these are going to be burning issues. With 2024, we've dealt with a lot of transformational issues like fraud subsidy removal, exchange rate, market-driven exchange rate, and a lot of all these policies. So the next big thing that I see is trying to address Nigeria's fiscal crisis, fiscal challenges, and that will come with a lot of tax increases, and maybe perhaps even cutting government expenditure as well, so that to balance it. But it's inevitable if we don't fix that. That's the big elephant in the room that needs to be fixed. So that will be fixed. Yeah, so that is my morning brief for today. I hope that, I've been able to explain that. So please prepare, be more tax efficient. And that's all I can say. Do have a profitable week ahead. Bye. Peace.